morning. Happy Tuesday, November 5th, Election Day. I'm Gene. Welcome to Hanging with Uncle. So, today I want to talk about something that is not thought of a lot because behind the scenes work kind of just feels like magic, right? If you're a Harry Potter fan, remember like in the great dining hall, the tables would be empty and then magically the food would appear? If you ever read the books, they have these things called house elves that are behind the scenes getting everything ready, and everyone enjoys it and nobody gives credit to the house elves, right? We only know Dobby. And that's why the books were way better than the movies. But anyway, I digress because I want to talk about those unsung heroes today, and that is our poll workers doing their civic duty. Poll workers are people like you and me. They're just doing their civic duty. Votes don't get magically counted. Polls don't magically just run themselves for people to go and vote. You have people in there, citizens of your community, trying to make the process work. And that's called civic responsibility or civic duty, whatever you want to call it. I remember the 2020 election. I was a poll observer. I sat in the polls for like 12 hours and just watched the process go. Didn't interact with anyone. Wasn't my job to correct anyone or talk to anyone or convince anyone how to vote. Just there to watch, to observe the process, to make sure it went smoothly and legally. And I even remember the Republican observer that was there. Same thing. Stood, watched, just like that, and that's what happens. It's a thankless job, but it has to be done. And I remember the polls closed here in Arizona at 7:30, or at least they did back in 2020. And as a poll observer, I stood in the back of the line at 7:30, and people were still trying to come to get in line after the polls had officially closed. And I'm just an observer. The poll worker that was there standing with me at the back of the line was turning people away because the vote is that sacred. And, no, there is no, at least from my experience, there's no illegality. There was no people there voting that should not have been. There was no people that let in after the lines were closed. It went the way it was supposed to be, by the book, period. Election day is something that I can tell you, again, from experience. I always forget to put the mic out. I can tell you from experience that it's thoughtless, it's necessary, and I wish more people would get engaged and do it. Now, when the votes are counted, that's a whole different process. Okay, that's done at the county recorder's office, and you have a table where two people sit and count ballots. There's a person wearing a red lanyard and a person wearing a blue lanyard at the table, which means you have a Democrat and a Republican at one table counting votes. And then you have supervisors who walk around just like they're a proctor in a test that make sure the process is going smoothly. And there's more than one of them. So, it's this stuff about stolen elections and rigged processes is a bunch of malarkey. Now, I was one poll observer at one polling location. So I can't speak for all the other, polls that went on like that, but I can tell you just from having a sense of civic duty, even jury duty is civic responsibility, because judges are there to decide the law, not to guilt or innocence, unless you choose a bench trial. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on another turnpike. But yeah, we just need to honor and respect the poll workers who are there volunteering. The poll workers might get paid. Poll observers like me, you don't get paid. It was just something we do. And again, I encourage everyone to do it. We'll have another opportunity in 2 years, because 2 years from now, we will be sending another Congress to Washington, D.C., and whoever wins the presidency, remember, laws are made in Congress, not the White House. So when you go to the polls to vote, if you have not voted already, respect your poll workers. They're just doing their civic responsibility. Okay? So that's my experience, my thoughts. I'd love to know what your opinions are. If you have ever been a poll worker, poll observer, anything like that involves doing your civic responsibility to make sure days like today go off without a hitch. Again, thank the poll workers. They're just doing their job. Okay? Somebody has to. So all I can say is, if you're that concerned about election integrity, then maybe you should volunteer to be a poll worker, just to make sure and see for yourself, hey, nothing's going on. It's easy, and it's free, and it's highly recommended and encouraged. They love to see people come in and volunteer to help the process go. You're very welcome. It's like meeting a bunch of new friends that you've never met before. So get involved. All right? It's easy. It's free. You'll make some friends. All right? That's all I have for today. Have a smooth election day, peacefully, and, after the chips have fallen, let's just accept what happens. Okay? So please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Let the rest of the world know we exist out there. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss one ever we go live and put new content out there. So I'm Gene. Thank you for hanging with Uncle, and have a